Hi, everybody. Welcome to our ancient oils deep dive. This is actually a testimony and a little bit of education on these beautiful ancient oils that are actually a very limited edition put out by doTERRA. We didn't have them last year, so I've kind of stocked up myself. And this is what they look like. They come in this beautiful little wooden box, and there's 6 oils. And as you can see, they're only 5 ml bottles. So they're very precious, very special and concentrated. And so what I'd like to do is introduce some of my beautiful tribe, my beautiful friends, and my lovely sister I'm going to lead with first, Rebecca, who's also loves doTERRA and has now discovered the ancient oils. And she's going to share her experience, how they've been life-changing for her. So over to you, Rebecca.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Rebecca and I created my business called Beck's Remedies, bringing good in the health to all. And I actually got into a little bit of history. I got into doTERRA for health reasons. I had recently been always keeping an eye out on cancer in my body because it's in my family line fairly a lot. So I didn't find doTERRA until after I had stage 1 cancer in the uterus. Then I started to sort of understand a bit more about the oils and the supplements and so forth. So I'm on certain supplements, but of lately, that was 13 years ago that I had stage 1 and I got past it. So I'm very entwined. I do know when something's not right with my body, and I do go to the doctors. I'm not against doctors, and I check things out, and I work with my doctors with all these natural supplements and oils and everything that we have in doTERRA. So I started off, as I said, just buying the emotional kit and some supplements to help with my DDR prime, with my bipolar also. So like I said, it was a really health journey for me. And then I fell into the business organically because I just couldn't stop raving on about what they were doing for me, what people were seeing was happening with me in my life, and so forth. So I'm sort of known as a walking advertisement. I still struggle at times getting out of my home, but when I do, watch out is all I say. I have samples with me all the time because I always use them in my bag. So it's very easy for me to just share something that I'm taking myself. Now, onto the ancient oils. These have come in a time in my life that I have been under a lot of stress. And as we know, stress, our emotions are actually attached to physical ailments that come through. And I should have known better, but I have been ignoring some things in traumatized stuff that's happened to me over the past 5 years. And I believe this is why I have started to develop the cancer once more. So I've been in the early stages, and I have only just doing treatment that I've got a tumor appearing in my stomach. We don't know exactly where, and I haven't gone any further in things. I am trying out the ancient oils, and I tell you, I have been having the best success with them. So the ancient oils, as my loving sister sort of showed, they come in that lovely box. So they're a beautiful presentation that we can purchase still in December. And what I did is, as you know, all the separate ones, they're highly concentrated. So for myself, with a lot of help with Kelly to help me with some protocols directly for what would be best for me, because I know about the oils, but I don't always know what was the best to apply them and so forth. So we've got a really great team that can have experience and also guidance when we're not too sure about where to start. Like I said, it sort of still hit me with a shock when I found out I had it. Then I realized, okay, I haven't addressed something traumatized-wise and I need to, and these are helping me address my trauma that I have not wanted to deal with, and I didn't even actually know what it was. I may get a bit emotional because I'm finding out more and more as I do my treatments what my trauma is that I was hiding from and not wanting to deal with, which I thought I actually did deal with it, but I'm finding out I didn't. So it's very interesting how they come about. So we've got hyssop. I got one, and I put 1 drop in a small roller ball. You can buy these from doTERRA and back office as well. You can buy them small, right up to 5 ml and 10 ml roller bottles. I only had a small one that I wanted to do. So I did 1 drop of the hyssop, and I did 1 of the cistus, 1 of the myrrh, 1 of the frankincense, 1 of the common myrtle, and 1 of the, and I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, so Calbalanin.
Golben.
Yeah, yes. And then I popped in my fractionated coconut oil, which I used it on my granddaughter the other day, so I don't have it here. Thank you, Deborah. And I just popped a little bit of fractionated coconut oil in the roller bottle. And then I just, as the protocol that Kelly's discussed with me, now she's done a one specifically for me. So very important that people don't just put it in their belly button like I'm doing it. It's because of where my lump is, and we don't actually know exactly where it is in the stomach, because like I said, I haven't gone through for my ultrasound yet. I'm still waiting in line to get my ultrasound done. So we've been putting it, I've been rolling it just on the around the belly button, and just a little bit with my finger, just a little bit in, sort of thing. And I've been doing that every night before I go to bed. I find the evenings are more better for me, because that is where you do your natural healing as well as at night. So if you've got trauma and things to deal with, that's the best way, is to diffuse things in a nice little diffuser beside your bed, or you know, popping them on your feet, which is your reflexology, or with me, I'm actually doing my stomach. So yes. Now I've been doing, I started off because I didn't have the ancient oils to begin with, but I always have my frankincense, because I had my frankincense on my very first encounter with my cancer 13 years ago. And every year doTERRA is very generous, and when we reach 200 PV in our order, they gift us a beautiful frankincense. So I always stock up with my frankincense at the end of the year. So because I use it daily to maintain things that I know can come in my body a lot in cancer side of things for me. So basically, once I first off started with doing the frankincense in the belly button, just to sort of maintain myself. I did that for about 2 weeks, and then my ancient oils turned up, and then I went over to the roller ball of a drop for everything. Now, I started off with a fairly good sized lump. I would say it would be about like that. And then what has happened is I had severe pain. I was saying to my doctor it was about a 10. It was a weird position where the pain was. It was like, I called it a smiley face. It was along the bottom of my belly, and it went right up to the belly button. Interesting. I just made that aha moment like I do. So the pain was excruciating, that I was like bend over in pain and so forth. When I was doing the frankincense, the pain, and I think I added something else with the frankincense to help me with the pain. I can't remember, sorry, what Kelly suggested. I know I was also doing Melissa at the time with it. Very, very amazing oil, that one as well. But I think it was the Melissa that helped me with the pain. But anyway, the 3 oils I did have for the pain. Kelly, can you remember the name of the oil for the pain? It was
it either helichrysum or blue tansy?
No, it was the one we were very limited with, and we only have it in Australia. Oh, okay. It might come to me later. It does that. Anyway, it was really good. That was the one that was helping me with the pain. And then once I got my ancient oils and I had the aha moment with what trauma I was avoiding, and thought I had dealt with and wasn't. So it's been a personal development at the same time. And my pain was alleviating. So it was going from a 10 to an 8 to a 6. And the lump with the ancient oils has been coming down. So I can feel like the lump is about that size at present. And I've been doing this every night for the last 3 weeks. So week to 2 weeks with my frankincense and melissa and copaiba. No, it wasn't copaiba. And then the ancient oils continued after that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm just ecstatic with the results. I've rung my doctor because I've got to keep her update with what's going on. She works with me. She knows I'm on natural products and that I often experiment, as I say, but I always work with my doctor with it. So I let her know I'm doing some experiment with any medication that she's put me on for different things. And then I lower them by bringing in the actual products. And then I go and do a blood test and I see what the results are. And I haven't actually told my doctor exactly what I did. I let her tell me what my results are, and then I tell her what I did. So that's what I always sort of say to people when they're working with their doctor is get them to see the results. And then they give you the permission, oh, well, then you can lower that to only 1 tablet instead of 5 a day, like 5 a week sort of thing. And that's what I've done with the bipolar, my thyroid issue, with thyroxine, and also hormone replacement therapy that I was also on over the years. And now with my with the tumor that I am working through. So yes, I highly recommend to grab your box of ancient oils. Thank you.
Thank you, Rebecca. That was so beautiful,
That
darling.
was awesome, Rebecca.
And look,
Thank
it's so
you.
true. There are so many oils in doTERRA that can help you with so many different things. But it's just that we're specializing right now on these ancient oils because they really do work with trauma. As Rebecca stated just there, trauma, if you've got trauma or you know there's something that is triggering you and you don't know what it is, I'll share my experience around trauma after this. But these oils will definitely bring the shadow out into the light. So when you are dealing with these oils, they are going to crack your heart open. You're going to experience some amazing journeys as you journey with these oils. So in saying that, I'd like to introduce you to our next speaker, the beautiful Serena, who joined me. She was the first person who said yes to me to actually want to experiment with the doTERRA oils. We didn't know we were going to do the business together. That was something that happened again, as Rebecca said, very organically, because as you experience the beautiful gifts that these oils give you, you cannot shut up. You have to share. That's just what happens. So the business does develop very organically. So in saying that, Serena, would you like to take over, my darling?
Thanks, Deborah. Hi, I'm Serena Schultz. I've been in doTERRA now 9 years, and 2015 was when I first started. I joined doTERRA. I was just a customer first, and then not long after that, I got this really bad pain in my left breast, where I knew there's something wrong, and I was like, "Well, don't know what this is." So then I already did research on the frankincense oil, and I knew that was the oil king of oils, and that's the only oil that penetrates the cell membrane. It breaks through the blood-brain barrier. That's how amazing it is. It's also in the Bible. And also what I did was I went to my doctor and he was stubborn not to give me a referral. Well, I said, that's okay. I'll just stay here. All your patients can wait all day long. I don't care. But I'm not leaving until I get my referral because I know there's something wrong with my breast. So that's when I was like, you know your body. And I'm in tune with my body, and I knew there was something up, so I had no idea what it was. And then when I had the mammogram and the ultrasound, it actually showed up. It was a sack full of 12 cysts covering my left breast, and it was so painful, where a couple of times I ended up in hospital because of the throbbing pain, just made me pass out. And then I thought, okay, someone's got to help with this. Something has to, you know, just can't stand the throbbing breast. And then it showed up, I had that sack full of cysts. So then I went home. Straight away, I put the frankincense oil on the breast. Within probably an hour, I was laying on the couch. Oh, I thought I was dying. It was like so pain, but I knew it was eating it. So I knew it was doing this. I'm like, oh, go. Couldn't stand the pain. And so then I did like a month later, I went back to my doctor. I got a referral again just to check up. And I went to the radiologist, and they said, you had a sack full of cysts. It's gone. What on earth did you use? And I said, oh, so good. I'm so happy about that. So I said, I used frankincense of doTERRA. Wow, I've got to buy some of that. And she just couldn't believe. She's like, but you had a sack full of cysts that was covering my left breast half. And I said, yes, that's right. And I said, frankincense gets in and actually helps to eat it, basically. And I said, it's very good for cancer too. So that's, you know, it's going to eat it. It's going to take it away. And that's happened to me. So I was so thankful for that, because otherwise it was so painful. And I have prolactin, and I've been making prolactin now since 2003. And that's what the cyst buildup is. I don't secrete. My milk doesn't come out. It just stays in and builds up like mastitis. Yeah. And again, and that's all from trauma too. And that's what it does with the body. So your breast and your uterus is both because of trauma. And so I have noticed the essential oils, even the ancient oils, are just amazing for trauma. And I've been putting on my belly button myself, like with you, Rebecca, and around, and that's actually helping as well. So it's just been an amazing journey, and I'm very thankful I said yes to Deborah, because, and I'm a walking, what do you call it? A walking miracle, because my doctor said to me, if it wasn't for doTERRA, well, I would have had breast, bowel, stomach cancer. So that's pretty, so that's very powerful. And I was like, well, I tell my body every day, I'm not getting cancer. The cancer's not allowed in my body. And so being proactive approach, it's actually really supports the body, the brain, the body, the mind, the soul. Yeah, it's just incredible. So yeah, it's been an awesome journey. And then people have looked on, and even my family, and they're like, oh, wow, she's changed. Because it was, I'm not the same person I used to be years ago. And I'm more happier because I don't have the pain I used to have. See, when you're in pain every day, it's not easy to be happy. So it's just, it's either laugh or cry. So so that's what, so these really do have an impact on trauma life, and they definitely do help. And even I put them on the back of my neck, and that goes straight into my nervous system. And just incredible, amazing. And I've been able to share this with my friends as well, and they're like, wow, that's incredible. So and
That's
now that
brilliant.
I haven't gone a hormone replacement, but I'm seeing a hormone specialist, and she's naturopath, and she's helping me with because I've got weight that I've got to shift. And again, when that's hysterectomy, you've had a hysterectomy, which I've had, that throws out all your hormones, and it's like, oh wow, then you got nothing to regulate your hormones. So it's like a child, just, naughty, plays in a playground and doesn't come back. It's kind of like that. It just wants to do its own thing. There's no nothing, there's no discipline, nothing. It just does what it wants to do, play out. So the body's amazing. And it can heal by itself naturally as well if we just step out of the way and heal.
Thank you, Serena. That was just amazing, sharing your story on frankincense and the journey of frankincense, the oil of truth. And it really does, it's an amplifier to any oil you put with it. So that's the beauty of frankincense. Whenever you, like using your ancient oils by putting your Frankie with them, that's why Frankie is actually included in this little section. So, but it's only a 5 ml bottle. Whereas the special that we have in December is if you do the 200 PB, you get the big bottle. So it will last you a lot longer, and you can put it with all your other oils as well as the ancient oils. So thank you so much for sharing that beautiful testimonial. And so now we've got the lovely, you're welcome, sweetheart. And now we've got the lovely Carney, who's only joined us recently, and to share her beautiful journey with these beautiful, amazing ancient oils.
Cool. Okay, so thanks, Debs. Firstly, bless and welcome. I'm very new to doTERRA, as Debs has mentioned, so I don't have the depth of awareness, but boy, oh boy, in the last 6 or 7 weeks, have I had some incredible experiences. So I'm going to talk about my experiences, and I'm going to be a bit retrospective and go through a bit of a trip down memory lane first. So firstly, and I'm not going to try and make her emotional, but Debs is a phenomenal leader. She walks the talk of the truth that she believes, and we're all here because we know at the core of our being that doTERRA products have really changed our lives. So from that point of view, it's just such an incredible privilege to be part of a team who are such strong advocates for something that they've not only embraced and has really worked for them, but they truly believe it down to their soul level. Debs has created an incredible team of heart-led advocates who want to help people improve their lives. We're all very different and we all have unique gifts and talents. But if you can, hard when you can't read your own writing. If I can suggest that at the end of this, after you've listened to everyone, that if there's someone who resonates with you, if there's someone whose story you kind of connect with, reach out and share yours with them. We all like to hear that. We want to be able to connect with you. That's what we feel is missing in the world. We want to be able to help you and connect with you. And so we're all keen to assist in any way we can and to make your life flow with the ease and grace that we found ours can. There's a powerhouse, an absolute powerhouse of talents, resources, and magic sitting right here in this room. And so make use of those resources. My name's Carney, and I work as a complex trauma therapist, Reiki master, and I work with altered states of consciousness. My main work is around inner child healing and accessing the wounds that carry those core emotions that do, if they're left unhealed, end up with disease, a dis-easing of the body, a disease down the track. These emotions can be trapped in our body for a very long time, and they cause us to be stuck in cycles that we don't want to be stuck in. And those cycles often have a programming of limitation attached to them rather than living our best lives. I was sold on doTERRA the minute I heard Deb say it's all about frequency. Now, I had said, no, 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 no. And I'd been with doTERRA for 8 years up until the moment she said frequency. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh, this woman who I'm so drawn to, and I don't understand why I'm so drawn to her. I just can't stop watching all the lives that she puts on, and like she's talking my language. But when she said frequency, that was it. I was sold. And it was because I know that when we carry that low vibrational energy, we create the things we don't want in our life. When we carry a higher vibrational energy, we draw into our lives the things that we really do want at a higher level, at a soul level, and the world just kind of opens up and magic and miracles just start to happen. So my life changed in 3 weeks when Kelly introduced me to an oil called Melissa. And before I knew what was happening, I was on this kind of a magical carpet ride, flying all around. And it was after I had my experience with Melissa, which is a whole story in itself, that I decided to embrace the ancient oils. My body knew the minute I heard Debs talk about the ancient oils that I had to have them. I didn't know why I had to have them, but I just knew I had to have them. I'm extremely clairsentient, very clairaudient and claircognizant. So that means that for me, I feel, I hear, and I just know truths within my body really deeply the moment that I'm aware of them. And I just knew that I had to have them. I've always loved frankincense and myrrh, and I've always known that the Egyptians used those to embalm bodies with. So I knew they were really good for my skin, and I've used them for that in the past before too. But other than that, and other than knowing that frankincense cleared energy, because I've always used frankincense at the top of my head and my tailbone to clear myself energetically, there really wasn't much else I knew. So on the day when my oils arrived, I actually knew 5 minutes before they were coming to my door, and I made the mistake of going to the toilet. And I was just finishing up on Le Cabinet de Toilette when I heard knock, knock, knock at the door. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I quickly rushed. Thankfully I was finishing, rushed, got to the door, only to find that the postie had gone. And I'm like, no, no, because I knew that they were going to the post office, and that was not happening. I'd wait, like it felt like I'd waited my whole lifetime. It was like waiting for Christmas to come as a child, but I knew that that wasn't true. It had only been a couple of days, but I was just so desperate for these oils. So anyway, I don't walk very fast, but I ran out that front door. I saw the car pull in next door, and I ran next door to him, and I'm screaming at this man, have you got my package? Have you got my package? And he kind of looked at me like I had 10 heads. But he said, oh, are you from next door? And found my package. And the minute I held it in my hand, it was quite a big parcel. The minute I held it in my hand, I could feel my heart begin to open. And I hadn't even opened the box. I hadn't looked at the package that Debs and Rebecca have shown you. I just had the package in my hand. And I knew I was carrying some kind of magic that was going to change my life forever. I just didn't know what it was going to be. So I just felt this tingling kind of excitement. So I dashed inside, and I immediately set up the camera, and I started doing an unboxing. And when I finally slid back that packet, dead set, my heart just about exploded with love and with joy. And I can't describe in words adequately enough how magical that experience was, because it was like being given the best Christmas present possible as a child. You know, something that was just, you knew it was coming, but it was just so much better than you could possibly have imagined. And yet I hadn't even opened a bottle. I opened each bottle one by one, and I spoke about what the oils were doing to me. I was amazed by what I was feeling in my own body. And I knew that I had some kind of a magical tool sitting here. I just didn't know what was going to happen. That night, after I purchased them, I decided to have a play date with the oils, because I'd purchased the little roller bottles, as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to make up some ancient oil kits to share with people I loved. And as I was pouring them, like, I felt like a child again. My inner child just was coming out so playfully as I was pouring one drop in after another. It was quite hard to navigate early on, because I was aware that, like, these were incredibly precious and sacred, and I didn't want to accidentally have 3 drops of frankincense in there. But I finally worked it out. So I put my 1 drop of hyssop and common myrtle and cistus and frankincense and myrrh and galbanum. Is that right, how you say it?
Galban,
Yep,
yeah.
beautiful. Into the bottle. And all of a sudden I was like this, I was just giggling and laughing. And Ben came out to me and he's like, what do you do? I don't drink. But it kind of must have looked like I'd sunk a few back. But I was having a really joyful experience with them. And that's all I can describe it was, with like inner child joy. And I think the magic of that moment will be one that I'll probably forever cherish, as sacred as my journey with Melissa has been. Those 2 experiences in 7 weeks, I've had about 7 really profound experiences. So that's just crazy. And I knew that I held in my hand, in my hot little hand here, something that was like liquid light, a miracle in a bottle. I felt unconditional love soaring through me. I just knew it was really sacred. I didn't know what it was going to create, but I just knew it was really sacred. Okay, so I was mesmerized and blissed out at the same time. And my heart just kept opening and opening and opening. And I used it to do a healing send that night because I was working with 31 people doing healing with the Christmas archangels. And I told them what I was doing. And so many people inboxed me and said, that was just wild. Like, we just felt our heart spaces. And I'd sent that energetically. They weren't even in the room. They just felt my vibration shift and the vibration of the oil that I'd sent energetically. And they're like, that was just like crazy. We could feel our hearts opening and opening and opening. So the next day I got up and I'm like, because I like to see, you know, play with energy and see what I can do more of. And I thought, okay, if that was so profound in a roller bottle, I wonder what would happen if I put them in a diffuser. And I'm aware at the same time that these oils are like really precious. You wouldn't normally put them in a diffuser, but I'm like, no, I'm worth investing in putting one drop in a diffuser. And it was crazy because from the minute that started to happen, miracles just started coming into my life. I had $650 turn up within 2 hours of doing that. $650 I wasn't expecting to come my way, and it just turned up. My heart just kept opening and opening and opening. I'd had this really challenging situation in my life that had been like pushing through quicksand. It just cleared, like just cleared, completely cleared. I had a new career opportunity open up. Other people seemed to be recognizing that there was a shift in me. And so I had all of these people start coming to talk to me as well too. But they were getting the ripple effects of miracles as well too. And I began backing myself and investing in myself in a way that was so different. There was no more sitting back in the shadows. It was like, okay, I'm born now. This new part of me is out here and it's out to stay, and there's no holding me back. And I think part of that was the joy and the love at the same time were just so palpable. It was impossible to miss. I was also, so my skin improved dramatically. I have rosacea, and my skin in 3 weeks has just cleared up phenomenally. And that's been using the frankincense and the myrrh on it. It started clearing up with the Melissa though. Top and tailing with the frankincense. The energy in my kitchen is just insane. And people come in to my house and they go, this just feels so peaceful and calm in here. You know, what's happening? And I just say, oh, I'm burning I'm diffusing my ancient oils. And they go, oh. So for me, the ancient oils are like a miracle in a bottle. I'm so grateful that I actioned my heart's calling. I've also noticed a greater balance in my capacity to give and take. I'm not being the martyr and overgiving anymore. I'm not allowing myself to be the sacrifice. And that's been a pattern I've played, that and people pleasing my whole life, but that's not happening at the moment. It hasn't happened since Melissa came along. But, you know, for me, the miracles that have come in just through answering the call to those oils has been profound. And I can't thank you enough, all of you, for coming into my life. I really can't, because not only those oils, but the magic of this tribe has changed my life forever. So thank you.
Oh, Carney, thank you so much. Beautiful. That was so lovely. Again, these oils, they will amaze you with what they can do and how it changes you. Like for me, it's a change. There is the old me, and since using these ancient oils, there's a new me and an even more emerging me. And I'm sure all of you will agree that's basically part of that journey. So now
like
we'll lead.
Unlayering, isn't it?
It is an unlayering.
Yeah.
And unlayering and unlayering things that you don't even know are there, like your own innate gifts that you have sort of hidden or been unaware of start to come to the fore. So like I said, everybody has their own unique journey with these oils. We'd love to hear your journey too. But right now we're going to lead into Kelly's journey with these beautiful ancient oils. Kelly is just amazing. I call her our wisdom, our soul sister on another level, because her wisdom, her grace is just amazing, and we're just so honored to have her gifts here with us on our early journey and our beautiful tribe. So let's lead with Kelly now in sharing her experience of how these ancient oils have unlocked gifts within her. You're muted, Kelly, darling.
Thank you. I'll try again. I just wanted to say thank you for that heartfelt connection that is part of being Deb's tribe. Like, Serena is the first person who said yes 9 years ago, did you say? Serena?
9 years ago, yes.
I think that's a testimony to the power of the oils, because you still wouldn't be using them 9 years on if they didn't. And then Rebecca's story as Deb's actual sister. I call myself Deb's soul sister, but Rebecca is her actual sister. And for Carney, like, is it 6 or 7 weeks? And you feel as connected to Deb and the rest of us as we all do. I really value the connection and the tribe, and it's something that's been missing for a really long time. And it's, you know, time to, when women link arms. Yeah. So, but we're talking about ancient oils. These ancient oils, if they were to go by another name, they would be biblical oils. They're all oils from the Bible. So Christmas Day tomorrow, so the story of the 3 wise men coming with frankincense and myrrh and gold. Frankincense was the medicine of the day. And it wasn't just in that period of time, it's been across the ages. And it's been across the continents. It's not a one-hit wonder. It's a classic. And frankincense was actually, it was like, well, why are you even giving frankincense? It was the gift of surviving your childhood, because there was a lot of infectious diseases. And with frankincense and myrrh, and some people say gold was like, as in a gold bar or a gold nugget, but other people speculate that maybe that was turmeric. So it was the gift of being healthy in your childhood. And so for me, I have a daily date with Frank. He's my boy, and I have a chronic autoimmune condition. And I was stuck in bed 22 hours a day for about 3 years. And it was when doTERRA came into my life that I was able to start getting out of my sick bed. I haven't had miraculous life-changing 12 cysts go in 3 weeks. Mine has been painfully slow, but every day stronger, stronger, stronger. And it's taken years, but each day I've been heading in the right direction. And it's been physically and emotionally and spiritually, but it's been slow. But I'm back to the point where I'm ready to return to work. So with the ancient oils, I have only ever used them topically. And it was Carney going, I diffused them. And she's like, you did what? And then I said to Deb, she diffused them. Have you ever diffused them? And she's like, no, I've never diffused them. And I'm asking around, and the people who I know who have had ancient oils have never diffused them. And I'm like, I'm going to diffuse them. And it was like, I don't know why I didn't think to diffuse them. And this is the value of community, where we share each other's stories. Because in our sensory systems, the olfactory sense of smell is called olfactory. And it is the quickest, the shortest, the most potent, and it's straight to the limbic system. So in the central nervous system, everything goes through like King's Cross Station. All trains go through King's Cross Station. In our nervous system, all the nerve tracts go through a region of the body called the thalamus. There's only one exception, and that exception is the sense of smell. It doesn't have to be diverted. It goes straight to where it needs to be. It goes from here to here. And when you're here, you're at the limbic system, and that is the emotional center. So diffusing the ancient oils is ingenious. Somebody had to tell me to do it because I didn't think to do it for myself because they're so precious and they're so
Yeah,
rare.
I do.
And the reason why they're so rare is because they're not always available. This is a limited time collection. I've been with doTERRA for 10 years, and this is only the third time I've seen them available. The last time was in 2022, and the time before that, I think it was, I don't know, Deb, was it 3 or 4 years before that?
Yeah, had to be. It's nearly like every 3 years.
Yeah, so they're rare and they're precious,
Yeah.
and they're available for one more week to the 31st of December or when stocks sell out. And when they come back, we don't know. So since diffusing my ancient oils, courtesy of Carney, because it's not how long you've been in doTERRA, actually. It's nothing to do with it. It's how you resonate with the oil. When you read the flyer from the class, it says, what is an essential oil? Essential oil is a volatile compound. It's like, great. What does that even mean? I was listening to Dr. Hill. He was talking about frankincense at the beginning of the month. And he said, essential oils are chemical messengers. And I was like, yes, I can understand what that means. And the chemical messengers is a form of frequency, and it's frequency medicine. And I can confidently say medicine because doTERRA frankincense is registered with the Therapeutics Goods Association, the TGA, as medicine grade. So the stories that we're sharing here about the oils are pure and potent oils, not the $10 from the dollar store. That I wouldn't even say is unlikely to be an essential oil, and certainly not therapeutic grade. So as part of this, we might, Connie, can we share the link for the TGA for the frankincense just at the end? Like, so if people want to look up how it's medicine grade. So our stories are for doTERRA, frankincense and ancient oils. Can't speak to other brands. But in the ancient collection, it does come with 5 ml frankincense. Because I have a daily date with frankincense, I generally use 2 bottles, and I actually go into a 3rd bottle of frankincense over a 12-month period. And I get my frankincense in December always because I get him free. Because doTERRA has a promo of if you do a certain order size, you get a free 15 ml frankincense. And I make those order sizes. I make a wish list throughout the year, and I save up and I purchase in December to get my free 15 ml bottle of frankincense, which Debs is just holding up there. And that is valued wholesale $118, retail $158. No one we know buys retail, though. We all buy wholesale. Wholesale is a saving of 25% because you get your own account. It's a bit like Costco. So wanting to let you know that the ancient oils are available for one more week to the 31st of December. If you wanted to, you can also get a free frankincense, 15 ml. If the ancientness of the ancient oils calls to you, that these have been the medicine across the history of time, across so many cultures, Egyptian, Chinese, Indian, Arabic, European, the Middle Ages, the biblical ages. These are the real deals. These are plant medicines. These are the natural solutions. So how much is this one? 158 PV, Debs? Is that right? Or 180? You need an extra 32 PV.
Yeah, it's 168 PV.
168 PV. So you need an extra 32 PV.
How much are they? Do you remember how much they cost wholesale?
No, I'd have to look that up.
Oh, Carney
I think
knows.
it's 276, I think.
So
Or
276.
It's either 276 or 267. I think it's 276.
I think it's 267.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I knew I had
think
all
it's
the numbers, just maybe not
You
the
were
right
close.
place.
You were very close. Yeah, 26. I never pay attention, you see. So 267, but it's 168 PV, which means you need that extra 32 PV to take it to the 200 to get the free frankincense.
Yeah.
So that's why adding your fractionated coconut oil, which is a must when you're using ancient oils to have the dilution. And I'm pretty sure this is about a 16 PV.
15, yeah.
15 PV.
So Rebecca's business is called Beck's Remedies. So you need the empty bottles and the fractionated coconut oil to make up your blends. And that what Carney was saying, to be able to start, yeah, there's your empty bottle, to be the alchemist. So we're part of Deb's team, and Deb's team is part of Team Alchemy. And so we get to be the alchemist. So if it's the ancientness and the biblical part that calls to you, you might want to top up your order to get the free Frankie with a spikenard. So spikenard was also in the Bible, in Solomon's Songs, and it was what Mary of Bethany. I'm not a Christian.
No, it was Mary, Lazarus' sister, who anointed Jesus with the spikenard before he died.
So at the Passover, a couple of days before the
Correct.
crucifixion. So this has the ability to connect to yourself. So I'll just tell you my short story of spikenard. My sister passed unexpectedly in 2020, and it was just such a shock. I was in Brisbane, went up to Townsville. I had 10 oils with me. Frankincense was one of them, of course, because I had my daily date. And it was just an emotional roller coaster because of the suddenness of it all. And it was like I was being flooded with emotion. I'm not an overly emotional person, but I was just bursting into tears. At one point, I was actively hysterical. And I just having this deluge of emotion. And I was just being flooded. And then when I got back to Brisbane, I put my hands over my collection. I was like, I need to, this storm, it was like a cyclone, and it wasn't passing, just the level of grief. And my hands settled on spikenard, and I took one drop and I put it on my crown. And there was a release, and I knew which way of the world was up, because I was just felt like I was in a tumble dryer. I was just being knocked around so badly. And it was spikenard that helped me find my feet again and centered me. And then after the fact, I went and looked up what is spikenard, and it's the oil of gratitude and of acceptance. And it was the one that helped me start to come to terms with her passing. So, and interesting, just because I like the chemistry side of thing, the chemistry of spikenard is really very amazing. The oils are made up of chemical constituents, and different oils have different profiles. So wintergreen, another love of mine, has 2 constituents. Its top constituent is methyl salicylate, and there's a little bit of something else, and that's it. Most oils have 3 or 4 constituents. Some oils have 7 to 9 constituents. Spikenard, 97 constituents. It is the most complex chemistry known that I'm aware of. Some of the chemical constituents in there haven't even been named. They don't even know what they do. The chemistry of this oil is gobsmacking. It is a biblical oil. It is also an ancient oil. It's not in the ancient collection, but it really, truly does belong in there.
Yeah.
Bit of a pricey oil. because when Mary bathed, it was her dowry or her, so it was her life savings in this little thing that she broke open to put on Jesus' foot. It's a rare precious oil. doTERRA sources it from Nepal. So I think it's $80, which I think is quite reasonable when you compare that. Anyway, so that's one option for you to top it up to get your free Frankie. A different, more affordable, less rare, less precious oil is going to be cedarwood, also an ancient oil, also a biblical oil. Cedarwood is a sacred wood, and it's the oil of community. And for 3 years, cedarwood was my oil of choice. The first time I smelt cedarwood, I swooned. My knees buckled underneath me. I swooned. And I was having a nervous breakdown, and long story there, it's attached to the autoimmune and just how sick I was. And I'm not anymore. Cedarwood was my oil of choice for a good 3 years, and he's a lot more affordable. So I would say if you're dealing with anything physical, emotional oils have something to, ancient oils have something to, or if you're doing managing something heartfelt, emotional, if you're facing spirit and direction and life, and because the world is crazy at the moment, the ancient oils, they're very likely to have something to offer you. I've probably talked too much, so I'll stop now.
No, that's brilliant, Kelly. It is so true. I mean, spikenard particularly being the oil of gratitude, and it also is very much about encouraging you to surrender and accept life exactly as it is. So you think about Jesus' life, and it was coming to an end. And it was also to find appreciation for all of your life's experiences. So you can see how it was appropriate for this oil to be the one to anoint Jesus' feet. That also helps with the emotional and pain aspect of everything as well. So when you go deeply into that, I will post a bit more about spikenard later on to explain a little bit more about the properties physically, emotionally, mentally that spikenard can do. As well as with cedarwood being the oil of community. It was the oil that the actual wood that they used for the ark. So for Noah's Ark, the flood was made of cedarwood. Now, when you think about it, it's actually the oil of community, but it's a natural sedative. So it would be appropriate for people that were stuck in an ark for 40 days and 40 nights to actually be sedated a little bit, and all the animals and everything else as well. So you see there's a purpose for every oil, and we're here to help you to, if whatever oil you choose, if you go for these beautiful ancient oils, we are all here to support you in your journey with them as well. So all you have to do is reach out, connect with us, and we'll be able to assist you that way. But just to share how valuable these are, even on a physical level, all of these ancient oils are anti-inflammatory. They're antimicrobial, they're antispasmodic, so they can relieve muscle spasms. They are wound healing. They are stress relief. So they're great for anxiety and all of that as well. They help reduce inflammation. They're helpful with conditions like arthritis, menopause, because menopause is, again, something that the body is going through changes, hormones and everything else. And these ancient oils are a journey. Menopause is a journey as well. So again, connecting menopause symptoms and everything else to assist you with going through that journey, the ancient oils are a great choice for that as well.
Yeah, can
And
I just interject there? It's for
Sure.
menopause when your reproduction is coming offline, but it's also for birth, because it's
again, you know, all hormone imbalances.
Birth and death and everything in between.
All hormone imbalances. In other words, whatever is going on in your life, these ancient oils will find some gift to give you. So this is why we're all a little bit gaga over these particular oils. And as I said, they are limited. And I'll just share my experience with these. These, as I said, trauma is a big thing that these oils assist us with. And I didn't realize how much trauma I was holding in my own body. Things happen in life, and I was going through a bit of stress, and all of a sudden my left arm, which is my receiving arm, by the way, basically froze on me. So it was totally, I was immobilized in my left arm. I'm only now getting mobility back. I've been basically, if you'll notice, sometimes I'm only using this hand a lot, which is my right hand, because everything on the right side works fine, but the left side I've got a little difficulty with. So what I did, and I'll show you what I actually did. And again, also great for the skin. You can put these anywhere. So you just grab a roller ball, and this is what I do. I just take the little stopper out, and I grab 1 drop of each of these precious oils, and I put 1 drop. Now, with the hyssop, I'll just make a note of that. There is a safety stopper in this. So if you've noticed that your hyssop is hard to get out, it's because it's got a safety stopper in there. So what I've done is I've just swapped it with one of my other 5 ml stoppers, and then it works really well. Otherwise, it takes like forever to come out because it's a very thick oil, and it's the only one in the Ancient collection that is only 2.5 ml. So that's how precious that one is. And then we have our Gorban, which is really great for muscle spasms and things like that. So we'll just put a drop of that one in, and then I put a drop of the Citrus. Again, this one's really great for emotional support, like brokenhearted and things like that. Citrus is your best friend for that one. And then you've got your common myrtle as well. So I know that we're sort of running out of time, so I'm just quickly doing this to show you how you can actually use these ancient oils. So I just put a drop. This is the myrrh. So myrrh's quite thick, so you need to be patient. 1 little drop. Make sure when you're using myrrh, this is where your fractionated coconut oil will come in handy. Just put a little bit of fractionated coconut oil on your finger and rub some on the spout around the myrrh, and then your lid won't jam. She's a resin, and she gets very crusty, and sometimes she will seal herself. Remember, she was used for embalming, so she seals herself onto the bottle, and then she's forever to get off. So if you use your fractionated coconut oil just to add a little lubrication for her, that's very helpful. And then, of course, our Frankie. Our Frankie, that's actually in our Ancient collection, just 1 drop of that. Then you just grab your fractionated coconut oil and you top it all up. So you fill up your 10 ml bottle with the fractionated coconut oil. This is the best way to start using your Ancient oils. Yes, you can diffuse them and everything like that, but they are precious, and definitely if you can afford to diffuse them, do that, because as Kelly said, the smell is very, very important to ingest through the body. But when you put fractionated coconut oil with any essential oil, you make it more topically wherever you put it. When you put something on neat, it can go straight through your bloodstream, 30 seconds, goes right through your whole system. But in this case, we're making it more topical. So I'm just putting my lid back on, and then I'm going to show you, this is what I use as my skincare at the moment. I have been using, and also I've had a toothache. So I've had a little bit of a toothache here. So what I've done is I've just shake up my little roller ball, and I've been just putting some on my neck, around my ears, reflexology points are there. See how it's much easier applying with a roller ball. Around here. And it's interesting, I am 64 years old, nearly 65, and my skin, since I've started using the Ancient oils particularly, it's funny how people notice something different in you. And I'm getting, you're looking really young. Going, well, thank you. I wasn't really, because you see yourself all the time, so you don't really pick up. But when people go, something about you is different, and the only thing I can put that down on, the only extra thing that I have done that's different is my Ancient oils. See how I'm putting that all on this arm that was frozen, and I'm getting, as I'm doing it, I'm getting more movement in that arm. So it's a process, and it's happening. And this is a heavy duty trauma that I've had in my life. And if anything does go wrong with me, it's always my left side. So this is not a surprise. I knew something was going to come up. As with when we start using oils, sometimes it feels like you have to get worse before you get better. Just remember that. The trauma has to come out. So, as with Rebecca and Serena, they said they went through pain. It's a temporary thing. So just persevere. All right. Understand that the trauma and the toxins in your body have to come out. So you may experience what we call a healing crisis. Persevere, because it will be worth it in the long run, because it's only a temporary thing. All right. As Serena and Rebecca have demonstrated, the amazing results they had because they persevered. And can you see now I can lift that? I couldn't lift that this morning. So this is how fast, takes 30 seconds to hit your bloodstream, how fast these oils work. So I encourage you, if at all possible, get your free wholesale account, because anytime you spend 100 PV with doTERRA, you get a free wholesale account anyway. The gift of these oils, you immediately get a wholesale account anyway and free shipping, because it's 168 PV as we mentioned. If you do want the extra frankincense, it's worth adding the cedarwood and the fractionated coconut oil to top it up to your 200 PV, or if you'd like to indulge in the spikenard, oil of gratitude, top it up to your 200 PV and get your frankincense. And as we said, this, and Kelly said so beautifully, this is only available till stocks last or till the 31st of December. And then they're gone, and we do not know when they will be back. So I encourage you, reach out to anyone here to explore more about the ancient oils, and let me tell you, you're in for a ride. So enjoy, have fun, and stay tuned to more as we go along our own journeys.